All right, today we're hitting triceps and we're going to go over some different stuff. Now, I've seen people comment and say I'm trying to reinvent the wheel, but that's not the case. This is actually how I train. When I walk in the gym, I'm constantly tweaking my own form, trying to find a better connection. Now, does that get me in trouble sometimes? Absolutely. Did you see the last video, that front delt exercise? Looked like I was trying to jerk off a giant elephant, but that's the risk you take. Let's get after it. If I had to guess, the one thing that most people are going to miss when they're stuck at home trying to do a dumbbells-only tricep workout, other than their freedom, is probably the same thing I would miss, and not having access to cables, being able to hit ropes, and be able to hit that lateral head easily and not even think about it. Just hammer it out and be done with it. And the good news is if you're willing to do the Dollar General version of rope extensions, it's just as good. So the way you're gonna do this is by laying on the side of the bench, start with that palm in a supinated position, that elbow stays in a fixed position, and then you're just rotating your wrist on the way up. Now, key here is getting that elbow almost parallel to the floor. So if you can't, your shoulder's stuck, just use the angle of your body, that's why we're laying on the side of the bench, to tilt back more and rely less on those shitty shoulders. This is what happens when you turn off the air for an hour in Arizona. Single arm overhead extensions are one of those exercises to where no matter how good your intentions are, how tight your form is when you start, no matter what, your form is going to break down to a point where it's unrecognizable. Where somebody would look at you and think, is that a shoulder press? Is he drunk and lost? Who knows? So knowing that, why not use a bench or a wall if you're stuck at home and work against that? Because we're not going to lock it all the way out. What the hell is that? That's in your shoulder, that's nothing. So knowing that we're going to have a shorter range of motion towards the bottom of the movement, why not work against the bench? Because then we have the added benefit of actually flexing against something. So like a seated hamstring curl where you're flexing those hamstrings and sitting on them, same idea here. We're pushing that tricep against the bench and then flexing it up. Now, you'll be hyper aware of that tricep. It'll make a harder contraction, and it's just going to suck more. For the most part, I loathe most variations of dumbbell kickbacks because even today, Casey Neistat made a video where he pulled off the side of the road and did what appeared to be a dance. He wasn't training his triceps. He was just kind of bobbing there, which I think it's a good way to live your life. You want to pull over every once in a while and dance on the side of the road? That's a good choice to make. But for triceps, I don't like most of them because most of them are too dynamic. And I think there's a place for dynamic movements in your training, like especially reverse hypers, where you hop on there, move a mass amount of weight, and you really get that back into rhythm, and it's a great exercise. But for triceps, there's a better way. So my favorite way to do these is reverse grip, but that's not what makes it a good exercise. What makes it so good for me is I'm gonna slow this down to a crawl, and this is one of those rare exceptions where I'm gonna lock it all the way out, hold that and let it scream as long as I can at the top of the contraction, and then release it, and then go back into it. Now I'll also get my back involved because for me, getting a little bit of lean as I come up just enhances the contraction that much more. All right, last but not least, we're going reverse grip push-ups, and this one's gonna blow them up because the thing that makes all the difference on these is as you start to contract up, you're gonna lean back, put the onus on the triceps to hold your body weight, and if this is not the hardest, most painful thing you've done in a while for triceps, I'll be shocked. So as always, like, subscribe with the notification bell, leave a comment for the video you want next. Get after it, get growing. Talk to you soon.